There's a battle shaping up for prestigious World Heritage listing in Victoria. The Gunditjmara people of far western Victoria want international recognition for their ancient fish traps, one of the world's largest and oldest aquaculture systems. But it will take millions of dollars in government funding, and they're not the only ones vying for the money. Anna McDonald reports from Lake Condah.
Below the icy waters of Lake Condah lies an intricate maze of fish traps. They're at least 7,000 years old, and there's nothing more sacred to the local Gunditjmara people.
With the eels coming through, they'll get stuck inside here, and with the little eels, the baby ones, will go through to the next pond and be housed into that next pond there. So when they're finished here, the busk will be taken out, fed amongst all the families.
This is Gunditjmara country in southwest Victoria, where eels hold a special place in the hearts of locals. It's believed to be one of the world's oldest and largest aquaculture systems, and potentially Victoria's biggest contender for a bid at World Heritage listing.
Lake Condah and the eel traps at Lake Condah it's a huge story. It's an old story. And you would think it came about because of the natural resources that are here.
The lake and surrounding wetlands provided the base for a large settlement. Behind this gate are the remnants of 146 stone huts. Entire families would live together, surviving on eels and other local seafood. With European settlement in the 1830s came conflict. Many locals were displaced, but some refused to leave. So the government built a mission, the childhood home of Ken Saunders, now an elder.
This is actually where I learned to count, because what I had to do, I had to get in once it was cleaned out, and I had to look up through the chimney and then count the stars. So that's where I learned to count.
But they were difficult times.
We were all standing down here, all those kids. We wondered who the hell they were. So, and then they just took the three ones away. Gloria, Ronnie, and Eunice. It's a little bit sad at times, you know. Catches me unawares.
The mission closed in 1919, but the Gunditjmara people remained and continued to fight for recognition. It finally came in 2008 when the land was handed back to the locals after winning their native title claim. Their first challenge was to refill Lake Condah, which had been drained for farmland.
When we started out this, back in 2002, people said it wouldn't get done. It wasn't going to get done. But here it is, it's working, it's successful, it's breathtaking. So for World Heritage, I mean, if we can do this when we're told we couldn't do it, you know, World Heritage should be right.
Some eel baskets will hold about 10.
With the water came the return of eel farming, a practice the Gunditjmara people want internationally recognised by UNESCO, the United Nations body responsible for World Heritage listing. Scientists and academics met with the community this week to discuss how to get their land onto the list.
With the Commonwealth having so many different places on its agenda for World Heritage, we have to make sure that they understand how important this place is.
The proactive approach taken by the Gunditjmara people to get this site onto the World Heritage list is uncommon. Usually state governments select the places they want to be internationally recognised. After all, it's the state that will have to pay the several millions of dollars needed to take the bid to the Commonwealth. But as yet, Lake Condah doesn't have that commitment.
With World Heritage listing,
the Aboriginal Affairs Minister travelled to Haywood, just outside of Lake Condah, to address the symposium. The community will have to win over the state government before it can be considered by the Commonwealth. While encouraging, the minister stopped short of offering the Gunditj Mara people the government's commitment.
The evidence has to be found, collated and documented, and it has to meet 10 criteria. It's very unique to get on a World Heritage listing, so obviously people have to scrutinise what is put before them, and we're going to be supporting the Gunditj Mara people in whatever way they need to find support to gain that evidence.
But there is another big contender for a major Victorian application to UNESCO. The former Brumby government made no secret of its desire to promote the story of the Victorian gold rush, one of the biggest mass migrations in history. 11 councils in the Goldfields region are part of the bid, which would cover much of central Victoria and the key historic sites. A study already funded by the government is the first step of the campaign to have the gold rush recognised.
I think it's hugely significant, it's a real goal, and we think we've got some fantastic potential.
What we do is we have a look at each case as it comes before the government, and as they come before the government we'll have a look at those to see the merit of the site and to see whether we support them or not.
All of them would have one large opening.
In the meantime, the Gunditj Mara people say they'll keep fighting to have their story told.
Over the next 12 months we're going to be gearing up to see how we can continue that eel economy here, and most importantly how this cultural landscape, how we need to protect that in terms of its habitat, in terms of its biologies, in terms of its spirituality as well.